Have you ever seen those videos where people say, hey, spend $10 and make 10 million, invest $1,000 and turn it into $1 million, but they never actually give you the exact steps how to do it? Well, today I'm going to show you how I took $35,000 and turned it into $4.5 million. And that's a true story and can actually happen. So here I am on my rural piece of land in Tennessee, right outside Nashville, Tennessee. We bought 17 acres. This was about 10 years ago we bought it. And we bought it obviously cheaper than it was worth now, but that's the key. With land, step number one is you will always make your money in the dirt. So if you can find an undervalued piece of property, an unappreciated piece of property, or a property like this one that just didn't have any work done to it, so people couldn't fully appreciate what it was worth or what it brought to them, then that's where you can make a lot of money. Now, even if you have like boundary issues, we own another piece of land here outside Nashville, 37 acres that we're working on, and it has boundary legal issues with it that we have fixed. And once we do that, that $430,000 piece of property will probably be worth several $1 million. But we're talking about this one here today, which is called Antler Hill, which is my farm. And what we did here was about 9 years ago, we found this piece of property, had a bunch of junk and garbage on it. You couldn't even drive through it. They had one little grass road that was going through it that I'm walking on now where I paved it. And we found an owner for sale by owner, which is another tip. Tip number two, if you can find something that's not listed on the market and talk directly with the owner, there's sometimes a lot more flexibility, but there's also a lot more risk. I'm in the industry, so I would consult professional help when it comes to buying land, but I'm in the industry, so I know enough to protect myself. Now, we bought this land just under 10 years ago for $340,000, and I ended up putting 10% down of my own money, $34,000. I borrowed the rest of it from Farm Credit, which is now Rural First, and I had a 15-year loan at $2,000 a month. At that time, I did not have $2,000 a month to spend, so what I did was I pulled back on my 401k, and because I pulled back on my 401k of $1,800 a month, I was able to make the land payment temporarily. So we had a $340,000 piece of property. I began buying some equipment, put up this barn with some of my home equity line of credit money from my other house that I lived in. So I took equity from the other property in a second mortgage to use to improve this one and put the down payment down. We sat on this for several years. We worked on it. We began improving the property, clearing the land, cleaning up the woods, etc. And that obviously would make the value go up. As we ended up waiting a couple of years, we went to build the property and we went to get a loan to build the property. And they said, wow, the land is worth double of what you bought it for. So that's equity. The land value was almost double by the time we had built on it. It had gone up. So that counts as equity. So when we went to get that loan to build this farmhouse at the top of the hill, they said, well, you've got plenty of equity. Plus, when you build this farmhouse, we think the house will be worth this much. At that time, they said it was $4 million. So I was going to have about 1.6 to 1.7 million into this property, and it would appraise for $4 million, they said, before we even started building it. The build process took 18 months. So it was a little longer. We built a New England farmhouse. It's rural. It's a little bit harder to find subs, and we did it during the supply chain epidemic. So we actually spent more than we probably had to. But at the end of it, the house appraised for $4.2 million. So at $4.2 million, and that was 2 years ago, at the end of the construction, the house was worth 4.2 and we owed 1.6 million on it. And all I had in the whole transaction from the very beginning was $34,000. Now, if you want to know more about this, your specific situation, obviously each piece of land, each build process, each county, and each client profile is different. Plus, the rules of mortgages change a lot. So if you want to know more about this, just go ahead and subscribe to my weekly newsletter. Link is in the bio, or go ahead and shoot me a comment below. Be more than glad to help you out anytime. Hope this helps. Let's turn some money into cash, into wealth, eliminate debt, and help you retire comfortably.